Hello, you reached Minash Patel from ichimokutrade.com. Today is June 12th, 2012. This is a weekly Ichimoku analysis for the futures markets, where we cover everything from commodity futures to metals to natural gas, heating oil, lean hogs, lumber, and so forth. This is a normal disclaimer. This is for education use only. If you decide to buy or sell anything from the video presentation, you're doing that at your own risk. All the charts you're going to see are basically from Thinkorswim from TD Ameritrade. And most of the contracts are pretty much continuous contracts too. Also, here are my contact details where you could reach me at info@eiicapital.com. You could access our website, ichimokutrade.com, for any information that's out there, from learning how to use Ichimoku to Fibonacci's, everything. So we've got tons of free videos on the video section and the events page. Also, there's you could access our heat map and email service, email alert system there too. If you have any questions, you could contact us here at this email or call us at any one of our global locations. Okay, so we're going to start first by looking at the heat map. Over here, you could see everything here. If you don't know how the heat map works, you could pretty much go here to the education section on the website, go and access videos, heat map and email videos, or you could even go to the events page where we've been having monthly webinars or bi-monthly webinars on how to use all the services from the website, and you can see the recordings from the events there. But basically what's happened is over here, green means basically betting on going up, red means basically you're betting on it going down, and what you're looking for is both the same color on the daily and weekly to begin with, and then the daily either be in a 2 or a 4. So if you look here, you're not seeing any of the colors matching. Here they match here, but then you got a 5, which means the rate trend is already going, and then it's yellow means it's overextended. So this is oversold, that's oversold. So both heating oil and coffee right now are oversold. So is lean hogs. And if you keep on scrolling down, here's an opportunity here, which is oats. So we'll definitely look at oats in just a minute as a potential opportunity for a multiple time frame buy. If you keep on scrolling down, there's really nothing much else. There's 2 and 2 here, which is 2-year treasury notes, so we'll take a note of that too as we move forward. And then also wheat for the bearish side. So you got oats basically we'll look at for bearish opportunity, and also wheat for bearish opportunity. Now remember, these are just opportunities, doesn't mean they're ready to go. They still have to break the last support resistance based on the charts. Okay, so these are basically filtering out a lot of the stuff that's going on. If you look here, this is basically the daily chart here is on the left hand side, the weekly chart is basically on the right hand side. So we're going to start by going for all the different particular instruments right now. If you look at cocoa, nothing really going on here. You could see a big consolidation downward pattern here on the daily chart. But if you look here in the weekly, you could see they had a downward movement to consolidate to pretty much took the bears momentum out of the play. So now this thing's going to sit there and consolidate for the longest time. The range basically of this consolidation pattern is a big range here. So you could day trade this in the lower time frames, but basically 2464 is the top part of the range and 2000 is the bottom part of the range for cocoa futures. So let's move down. Crude oil. Crude oil is an interesting one. You can see basically it's being bearish trending here on the daily time frame. On the weekly, you could see basically here it's overextended now. This thing has moved down drastically in a very short amount of time. And now we're pretty much entering a consolidation pattern, as you can see, and it looks very, very ugly with big wide swing. So, you know, this is a big consolidation pattern, so you could look for trends on the lower time frame, even here on the daily, and you can see this is bearish trending here. We've kind of reached a minor support level here at 81.15, so we gotta wait and see what happens there. Support resistance is going to be basically 84.68 and 89.60 now. So that's it for crude oil right there. Let's see, cotton is the next one. You can see it's basically bearish trending on both the daily and weekly. You're coming up to major resistance levels now. 77.26 is the next one. The one after that is major one at 79.48. Support basically is going to be 71.26 moving forward. US dollar, you can see this is trending on both the daily and weekly. The major support level is going to be basically 82 on this one, 82.69. Next one after that is going to be 81.67 moving forward. And with the major one to basically stop the trend on the long term is going to be around 81.16 going forward. But this is trending upwards. You kind of need to push to a whole new level now where it really needs to break 84 to have a major trend to go into the top side. If it doesn't push past 84, this thing could be short-lived and sit there and tank the other way very, very fast. Gold will come back to feeder cattle. This is bullish trending on both on the weekly right now. On the daily, it's a little chop here. It's broke resistance once, came down, and then broke it again. So it's really like a big consolidation pattern to me. But the long-term weekly chart still is bullish trending. So that's the overall trend. This is lean hogs. You could see here. Look at this big gap up. We came all the way down, then came back up. This is one big consolidation pattern, and you could see that from the weekly. So there's not even worth talking about lean hogs at all. Copper has been in the news a lot. This is basically bearish trending on the daily, as you can see here, and basically starting to trend here on the weekly. Really don't count this as a trend yet until it could break this 3, which is basically this last pivot low. Once it breaks that, then it can sit there and start a long-term trend downwards, where it could actually sit there and kind of come all the way back down to here, which is 2.74. But if you look at this on a smaller time frame, it looks like it wants to retest this low, getting close back to 3. So definitely, if you're in this trade, just keep your stops very tight now. Go in the preserve mode where you're locking up your profits. Tighten up your profits now because you're getting close to the bottom. Here, you could, in the daily, it may pull back some and then make a move to here. But you're probably looking about 2 or 3 weeks time before it sits there and reaches that pivot low. Heating oil, as we talked about, this is overextended, and you can see here from the daily and weekly. Daily here, it's especially overextended here since it's made its move since 5.3. Here, it definitely needs to pull back. Resistance levels are going to be 2.7853, and then 2.8871 is basically the resistance levels. Support levels, of course, is going to be this pivot low here, which is 2.5641. Coffee. This has been a great trade. It still is a great trade, and it's still going down. So this is still bearish trending on both time frames. Nothing much to talk about. It's just happening and still occurring. Lumber here. This is not a bullish trend completely because it's consolidating and so ugly here. This thing has got to sit there and start moving now. If it doesn't sit there and start breaking above this value here, about 295.60, this thing's going to tank. So it's got about 2 weeks time now to sit there and break that 295.60 level. If it does, this is going to start a long-term trend to the upside, where at least we'll retest this pivot high here again at 338, and then potentially can sit there and break it. So it's going to be interesting to see in the summer months lumber going up, but 295 is a major resistance level, so we have to wait and see exactly what's going to happen with that in 2 weeks. Live cattle, nothing really going on. It's at a major resistance level right now at 121. It depends on what happens here. If it holds there and then breaks 116.20, start watching for a bearish opportunity on this trade here to go all the way back down to 112. So just look out for live cattle. Not quite ready here. Maybe on next week's video, it'll set up for an actual trade. Natural gas, you could see here from the weekly time frame, it is still bearish trending. This right here was a medium pullback, not even a major pullback at all. And you could hear on the daily, it looks like it's consolidating right now. But the sentiment has changed finally on the on the daily time frame to be bearish. And it just depends on exactly where it ends up today. But definitely conflict right now, nothing ready to go, but the trend is still bearish. Orange juice here had its chance to sit there and start taking off, didn't sit there and quite follow through at the beginning of this year, and has tanked heavily since then, and you could see that from the bearish trend here. But it is very overextended now, so definitely we'll be looking for a bottom. Next resistance level is going to be 125.48. After that's 162.03. Support level, of course, is going to be 100. Palladium. If you look at palladium, really nothing going on here. This thing's just consolidating in the range right now. Resistance levels are 635.23 and 656.03. Support basically is going to be right around 590, 580 moving forward. Short-term support is going to be about 615. Platinum. Platinum, really nothing going on here. Bearish trending here on the daily time frame. But if you look here on the weekly, it's gotten to the bottom of the range right now and kind of stopped and stood still right now. It's just kind of consolidating for the last couple of weeks. This thing's got to make a decision. The more it basically times goes by, the momentum actually is going to go to the bears. Resistance is basically going to be 1492, and the next one after that is going to be 1543. Support basically is going to be 1430 moving forward. Natural gas, I think we already covered gas. We covered the big contract. Gasoline, you could see here after this did this double top, this thing is just tanked straight down. Bearish trending here, but this is basically one big consolidation pattern for the last couple of years, and that's the range. So it looks like we're trying to get to the bottom of the range, which is 2.47. And once we get there, then there'll be potential opportunities to start looking for bullish opportunities in gasoline. Till then, it's still short and still playing it down. Sugar, bearish trending on basically the daily and weekly. You could see here it's trying to go for a major pullback right now, but it's at a major resistance level right now. The next resistance level is going to be 21.15, and after that it's going to be 22.53. Support level is going to be 19.74 moving forward. We'll come back to gold. Oh well, let's cover gold. Gold here, you could see it just looks nasty on the daily time frame. On the weekly, this level here has held very, very strong, 1529. So this is basically one big consolidation pattern here for gold, where it's basically ranging between 1790 now and 1529, and it will remain in this until it sits there and breaks one of those two levels. So right now, this had a chance to break down. It hasn't. If it actually breaks 1658, this is going to actually give a lot of momentum to the bulls. And at that point, watch out for gold to get to 1790 and possibly break it. It will have a lot of momentum going to 1790. So definitely look out for this in the next couple of months, maybe after July and August or so forth. If you look here, silver here, basically the triple bottom. The quadruple bottom is right here. This is a major support level, 2631. Resistance level, you're already at one resistance level. Next one's basically going to be around 30, and then after that one's 3186. So again, this is nothing really going on in here. If this breaks 3186, it's going to sit there and go to the top of the range for silver, which is pretty much, believe it or not, right around here, which is 40. So this thing's ranging between a huge range right now. 30-year Treasury bonds. This is bullish trending on both the daily and weekly, so nothing really to talk about there at all. But it is trending. Corn really not doing anything at all. Looks like it was trying to go down, but then it had huge volatility, so it went back up and everything. If you look at the weekly, this thing is slowly trickling down. Major support here is 558. Major resistance is going to be about 625. If it could break this 558, this thing is going to tank very heavily and does have a potential of retracing everything back, believe it or not, all the way down to about 449 is one level. Over here is 375 is another level, and then coming down here. This thing does have that potential of breaking down if it could break the 558 moving forward. 5-year Treasury notes. Bullish trending. Well, you can't really say this is bullish trending. It was bullish trending, but kind of consolidating at the top, and so really nothing going on there right now. Soybean oil. This is bearish trending on the daily time frame. On the weekly, basically, it's overextended. Kind of got to a double bottom here, which is a major support at 48.21. Resistance is basically going to be all the way back to 50.89, and then the major one's going to be around 52.15. But this thing needs to break 48.21 to sit there and start a bearish trend completely on the long term, just like corn. So definitely look out for these commodity futures. They're at major support values right now. Soybean meal is different from soybean oil, and that is bullish trending to the top side. And you can see here it's still trending on the weekly. You kind of have this minor double top right now. Really doesn't mean anything at all since it hasn't gone for a pullback. Over here you could see that this is trending here, pulled back, did a major pullback. We're retesting the highs right now, so it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens if we break 437.10 this week or next week. 10-year Treasury notes, still bullish trending on the weekly time frame. The dailies now looks like the big volatile swings back and forth, and we're consolidating here at the top. Oats looked like a potential opportunity. You could see why here. We've gone down with pulled back. This does have a potential of breaking down. However, it's got to break below this 260 level. If it breaks below the 260 level, this thing does have a potential of tanking, and it could tank really hard. So definitely keep an eye on that one. Soybean futures, you can see here this was bullish trending. It did a major pullback. Now it looks like it's trying to retest the high. And if you think about this is one big consolidation pattern, believe it or not. So soybean futures, yes, we did break out here, but this was a fake breakout here for a resistance level, so you can't really count that as being broken because it came all the way back down. So this thing is still raging. 2-year treasury notes, nothing really going on here, just topside heavy consolidating. And wheat was another opportunity here. And you could see this thing's just consolidating. This thing does have a potential of breaking down here. And this is the range for wheat right now, which is basically 584 to 744. Whichever way this thing breaks, it's going to break very, very heavily. And at that point, you're going to see a potential opportunity to go either way. So definitely keep an eye on this one. It's consolidating, very wildly swinging. This is kind of forming a triangle pattern here to the downside. It's right here, and I could just draw it real fast, which looks like this, which is a downward move right now going forward. Whoops. I'll just draw it to right there, and then this right here basically shows you the triangle formation that's forming. So definitely keep an eye on wheat moving forward to see exactly what could happen with that one. Okay, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please post them. You could contact us here at this email, or you could access our website and register for free and access all the free resources available at ichimokutrade.com. Thank you.